Hello and welcome. Today we're delving into a fascinating review titled Agentic AI and Machine Learning for Accelerated Materials Discovery and Applications. This work by Jihua Chen, Panagiotis Christokopoulos, and their colleagues from Oak Ridge National Laboratory and the University of Tennessee explores how artificial intelligence is set to revolutionize the way we invent new materials.
The authors begin by reminding us of a fundamental bottleneck in technological progress. Historically, the discovery of new materials has been a laborious process of trial and error. This traditional approach often results in development timelines stretching 20 years or more. The sheer scale of the challenge is staggering. The chemical space of possible carbon-based molecules is estimated to exceed 10 to the power of 60. This is a universe of possibilities far too vast for exhaustive empirical exploration. Yet, our modern technological needs, from electric vehicles to advanced aerospace components, demand new materials with extreme or highly customized properties, like ultralight alloys, materials with exceptionally high thermal conductivity, or those with precisely tailored band gaps. This is where artificial intelligence and machine learning, or AI/ML, are poised to play a vital role, particularly in the development of digital twins, sophisticated algorithms, and what are known as self-driving laboratories.
In fields like additive manufacturing, for example, AI/ML is already crucial for discovering new composites and optimizing the manufacturing methods themselves. The emergence of self-driving laboratories, or SDLs, promises to dramatically accelerate scientific discovery and hypothesis validation. While computational methods like density functional theory can perform high-throughput screening to identify promising candidates, the subsequent experimental creation and validation of those materials remains a persistent bottleneck. This is where a significant shift in methodology is occurring. Machine learning has emerged as an efficient surrogate model, capable of making accurate property predictions across diverse chemical spaces without the limitations of traditional ab initio calculations. This field, known as materials informatics, uses computational power to extract unique insights from large datasets. The primary goal is to move away from the traditional experiment-first approach. Instead, the focus is shifting to an AI-driven paradigm centered on what is called inverse design. Inverse design flips the problem on its head. Instead of making a material and then measuring its properties, we define the specific properties we desire, and the AI determines the molecular structure or composition required to achieve them. Building on this, the authors introduce the next evolution, agentic AI systems. These are systems that operate with a degree of autonomy to perform complex tasks like generating hypotheses, designing experiments, and automatically analyzing the resulting data. In this review, the authors discuss the progress of AI, and specifically agentic AI, in areas related to polymer materials and discovery chemistry. They focus on the need for more efficient discovery, the core concepts underpinning these technologies, and the role of large language models. To ground these concepts in reality, they showcase applications in three key scenarios: flow chemistry, biosensors, and batteries. Let's first explore the core methods that make this possible. The authors present a conceptual framework where agentic AI and machine learning work in a synergistic loop. The agentic AI is responsible for higher-level autonomous tasks, generating hypotheses and designing experiments. This feeds into the machine learning component, which handles predictive modeling, feature engineering, and pattern recognition. The insights from the machine learning models then inform the next cycle of the agentic AI's actions, creating a powerful, self-optimizing system for discovery. This loop is then applied to major domains like healthcare, for things like drug discovery and disease diagnostics, and manufacturing, for creating advanced materials and optimizing industrial processes. At the heart of these systems is the concept of material descriptors. These are numerical representations that serve as the bridge between the physical world of materials chemistry and the digital world of AI algorithms. Essentially, they encode a material structure into a machine-readable format. The paper stresses that ideal descriptors must be reproducible, efficient, accurate, and simple. The way a molecule is encoded significantly impacts the success of the model. For instance, sequence-based encoding uses text-like strings, such as smiles or selfies, to represent a molecule. Graph-based encoding, using tools like graph neural networks, captures the connectivity between atoms. And multimodal encoding can combine structural data, spectroscopic data, and even text from scientific literature to improve accuracy. The paper then elaborates on two particularly important types of machine learning, deep learning, or DL, and reinforcement learning, or RL. Unlike traditional machine learning that relies on a human expert to manually engineer the important features from the data, deep learning uses deep neural networks to autonomously learn hierarchical representations directly from the raw data. Reinforcement learning, on the other hand, trains agents in virtual environments. These agents learn by taking actions and receiving rewards or penalties, allowing them to maximize a final reward. This approach is incredibly useful for simulating the complexity of real-world chemistry experiments, like predicting an optimal synthesis schedule while managing the cost of each measurement.
Beyond just analyzing existing materials, a major goal is to generate entirely new ones. This is the domain of generative models. These models aim to directly generate novel material structures that satisfy a specific set of desired properties, rather than just screening databases of known materials. Key models mentioned include variational autoencoders, VAEs, generative adversarial networks, GANs, and transformers. The authors highlight a particularly powerful class called diffusion models. These models work through a noise-to-data denoising process. They start with random noise and gradually refine it into a coherent data structure, like a new crystal structure, that meets specific criteria. While they can require significant computational resources, they offer high novelty and are good at preserving important physical properties like symmetry. A prime example is a model called MatterGen, which was trained on vast databases of stable materials from the Materials Project. MatterGen can generate novel materials guided by simple prompts describing the desired chemical, mechanical, or electronic properties. This brings us to the core concept of agentic AI. An AI agent is designed to perform a specific task intelligently and continuously on behalf of a human operator. These systems are built on an architecture that supports what the authors call core agency factors: intentionality, which is the ability to plan; forethought, self-reactivity, or the ability to respond to the environment; and self-reflectiveness, the ability to evaluate its own performance.
For these systems to be reliable, their autonomy must be balanced with predictability. To achieve this, agents are generally given a narrow scope of responsibility and perform single, explicit functions, which makes them easier to test and debug. Making the agent's planning steps explicit is crucial for enhancing transparency and making it easier to troubleshoot when things go wrong. Frameworks are being developed specifically for this scientific context. One, called Curie, for instance, includes an experimental rigor engine designed to enforce methodical procedure, reliability, and interpretability in the agent's actions. For complex multi-domain problems, a single agent may not be sufficient. In these cases, multi-agent setups are used, where specialized agents collaborate. For example, one agent might be a planner, another an executor, and a third an evaluator. Real-world examples include CoScientist, an agent for autonomous chemical experiments, and Cell Agent for bioinformatics data analysis. The paper highlights several current agentic AI techniques being used for materials discovery. MothGen is a system for discovering metal organic frameworks, or MOFs. It uses a team of collaborative agents. A large language model proposes compositions, a diffusion model generates the 3D structures, a quantum mechanical agent screens them for properties, and a final agent assesses whether the proposed material is actually synthesizable. This system is used to accelerate the discovery of materials for applications like CO2 capture. Eunomia is an agent that uses a large language model to extract information from scientific literature to create datasets for predictive modeling. It uses an architecture known as REACT, enhanced with document search and chain of verification to ensure accuracy. LLMAT Design is an agent that performs iterative material modification. It uses prompting, reasoning, and tool invocation to progressively optimize a material's properties for desired electronic or mechanical characteristics in alloys and polymers. Other notable agents include MatPilot, which designs experimental schemes for autonomous labs; ChemCrow, an LLM-based agent for planning synthesis pathways; Atomia, a computational chemistry agent that performs energy calculations via natural language queries; Dreams, a multi-agent framework for managing complex density functional theory simulations; and ALab, a fully autonomous laboratory system that employs AI agents for robotic synthesis and decision-making, achieving high success rates. The recent addition of large language models, or LLMs, a desirable engine for these specialized scientific agents. Their role is to accelerate research and development by automating time-consuming manual tasks. The paper outlines two key functions for these LLMs. First, they can extract synthesis conditions from a vast number of publications. They can sieve through text and data in minutes, formatting the extracted information for future analysis. By combining information from publications, patents, and websites, they can build comprehensive structured knowledge databases, covering everything from reactants and reaction conditions to product properties. This allows researchers to identify correlations between a product's structure and its functional properties. Second, LLMs can facilitate the translation of these complex datasets into actionable protocols for automated synthesis, essentially computer commands that a robot can execute. This integration also enables predictive modeling, where the LLM can use the outcomes of prior experiments to propose novel material compositions and conditions for future tests, accelerating the entire discovery workflow.
As an example of this capability, the paper mentions the OpenChemIE toolkit, which is designed for information extraction from chemistry literature. It works in 2 steps. It first parses molecules or reactions from text and figures using specialized neural models, and then it uses chemistry-informed algorithms to integrate that information. When compared against the commercial Reaxys database, OpenChemIE demonstrated a solid F1 score of 69.5% and an accuracy of 64.3%. These agents promise to streamline the entire synthesis characterization pipeline. The authors connect this to the field of flow chemistry, which offers significant advantages over traditional batch synthesis. Continuous flow reactors allow for precise control over reaction conditions, like temperature and pressure, leading to higher yields, better reproducibility, and improved safety, since smaller quantities of reactants are used at any given time. By integrating in situ diagnostics like spectroscopy or NMR directly into the flow line, adjustments can be made immediately to minimize side products and enhance purity. Integrating LLMs with flow synthesis is a powerful combination. An LLM can analyze large datasets to design synthetic routes, predict optimal parameters, and even suggest alternative pathways that have never been tested experimentally. These conditions can then be translated into executable protocols for an autonomous synthesis robot. The LLM can also interpret the feedback from the diagnostic tools, adjusting reaction parameters to optimize the yield and making decisions that are easily interpretable to human scientists through natural language.
Now, let's turn to the specific applications the authors showcase, beginning with flow chemistry. AI and machine learning have already proven to be powerful tools for reaction prediction and new materials design, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry for drug discovery. In the context of polymer synthesis, the paper explores several types of polymerization. First is radical polymerization. In flow reactors, this is typically done in a solution to avoid the high viscosity of the bulk polymer, which could clog the small diameter tubing. The paper notes that a wide range of monomers, from butyl acrylate to acrylamide, have been successfully polymerized using this method in flow systems. These automated systems are particularly important for investigating complex processes like copolymerization at a much faster speed. Next is cationic polymerization. This method is typically highly exothermic, meaning it releases a lot of heat. Flow reactors are ideal here because they offer excellent heat transfer. By combining low temperatures with high flow rates, and thus short residence times, the living character of the polymerization can be improved, resulting in polymers with much more uniform chain lengths. Nitroxide-mediated polymerization, or NMP, is another example that benefits from the superior heat transfer of flow reactors, as it's conducted at very high temperatures, over 100 degrees Celsius. This control leads to polymers with a narrower molecular weight distribution compared to batch reactions. Finally, one of the most versatile methods is reversible addition fragmentation chain transfer, or RAFT polymerization. This technique offers excellent control over the reaction, producing polymers with a narrow molecular weight distribution. RAFT has been widely used in flow reactors for a variety of monomers, and advanced versions like photo-induced RAFT, which uses light to initiate the reaction, are also being explored. It's clear that flow reactors can not only retain, but often improve upon the controlled character of these advanced polymerization techniques. This makes them ideal for synthesizing more complex structures, like block copolymers. The paper highlights several machine learning techniques that are currently being used to guide flow synthesis. Bayesian optimization is a probabilistic method that models uncertainty to efficiently optimize parameters by intelligently selecting the next best experiment to run. It's used for the multi-objective optimization of flow synthesis, trying to maximize polymer yield and monomer conversion while minimizing cost. Thompson sampling efficient multi-objective optimization, TSEMO, is an algorithm used for closed-loop automated optimization of polymer properties like molar mass and functionality. Active learning is a strategy that queries the most informative data points to improve model performance, reducing the total number of experiments needed. It's used for high-throughput exploration of polymer design spaces in flow systems. Reinforcement learning, as we discussed earlier, uses agent-based models that learn through rewards. In this context, it's used for process control and optimization to ensure consistent polymer quality. Finally, computer-aided synthesis planning, CASP, with machine learning, involves AI-driven planning of synthesis routes. This is used in robotic flow platforms to automate multi-stage processes all the way from the initial idea to the final execution.
From flow chemistry, we now shift to the second application area, biosensors. The development of next-generation biosensors, often relying on micro and nanofabrication, has opened up a broad spectrum of applications in medicine. However, for these technologies to be widely used in clinical settings, they need to overcome critical challenges related to specificity, sensitivity, stability, cost, and system integration. The authors argue that AI incorporation is expected to be key to solving these issues. Next-generation biosensors are primarily being developed for real-time, personalized monitoring of human health. The paper outlines three main categories. 1. Remote monitoring and point-of-care, POC. This includes wearable sensors, skin-integrated systems, and implantable devices. These are crucial for monitoring patients with chronic conditions. Highly commercialized glucose sensors are a prime example, and researchers are actively working on non-invasive monitoring through optical or transdermal approaches. Cardiovascular sensors and miniaturized biosensors for personalized point-of-care devices also fall into this category. 2. Rapid diagnostics and therapeutics. Biosensors are ideal for the rapid diagnosis of infectious diseases like HIV, malaria, and sepsis. They can provide a platform for rapid antimicrobial susceptibility testing, which is crucial for combating multi-drug-resistant pathogens. They are also used for early cancer detection by identifying cancerous cells or monitoring biomarkers associated with the disease. 3. Biomimetic sensing. This fascinating area involves sensors that utilize synthetic receptors and nanostructures to replicate biological systems, like our senses of smell and taste. For example, electronic noses, or e-noses, can be used to detect and analyze volatile organic compounds. Nanofabricated olfactory and gustatory biosensors can perform biorecognition when combined with advanced signal processing techniques. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are being leveraged throughout the entire biosensor development lifecycle, from discovering the biomarkers to fabricating the device and optimizing its performance. The paper highlights three key ways AI is making an impact. 1. Discovering biomarkers. AI/ML algorithms like random forest and neural networks have been used in highly sensitive systems to achieve high precision in prostate cancer screening from a single drop of urine. They are also being used to discover biomarkers for Alzheimer's disease, which currently lacks robust indicators. In one example, a machine learning model helped streamline the selection of relevant antigens for a point-of-care diagnostic test for early-stage Lyme disease. Another example is a deep learning algorithm called Covary, which was developed for the rapid detection of SARS-CoV-2 variants from surface-enhanced Raman spectroscopy data. 2. Optimizing material, transduction, and sensitivity. AI is being used for the de novo design of metamaterials, tailoring their optical properties for specific biosensing applications. For example, a deep learning model was developed to predict the plasmonic nanostructure geometries that would yield an optimal response when interacting with a specific biomarker. Machine learning was also used to train a pressure biosensor made from 2D exene and 1D graphene nanoribbons, which could detect different sitting postures with over 95% accuracy. 3. Optimizing microfluidics and lab-on-chips. Algorithms like recurrent neural networks are used to analyze data from microfluidic impedance flow cytometry, allowing them to classify red blood cells with high accuracy. Reinforcement learning is applied to automate the operation of fluidic control components, enabling precise control of flow rates and particle manipulation. Several AI techniques are common in this field. Support vector machines are used for pathogen detection and biomarker classification. Ensemble methods like random forest are used for bacteria discrimination.
Convolutional neural networks are excellent for automatic feature extraction from spectra or images for rapid pathogen identification. And natural language processing is used to mine scientific literature for biomarker discovery and to help create automated databases for sensor design.
The final application area discussed is batteries.
A core application of AI in this field is the dramatic acceleration of what is typically a slow and resource-intensive process, finding new battery chemistries. The paper gives the example of a machine learning model named DRXNet, which was developed to learn the electrochemical information from battery voltage profiles. Trained on a dataset of over 19,000 discharge cycles collected over 5 years, DRXNet can capture important features in the cycling curves of disordered rock salt, or DRX, cathodes. This provides a data-driven approach to facilitate the rapid discovery of new cathode materials.
AI is also being used to accurately predict battery life using only data from the early cycles, which dramatically shortens the required testing time. In one remarkable case, a closed-loop optimization system compressed an experimental timeline of over 500 days down to just 16 days when applied to optimizing fast-charging protocols. This was achieved by training an algorithm on a few 100 million data points of batteries charging and discharging, allowing it to predict how many more cycles a battery would last, based on early voltage declines. Furthermore, AI/ML is contributing to manufacturing and recycling. An ensemble learning framework based on a method called RUBoost was proposed for classifying the quality of electrodes during manufacturing. And in the recycling domain, AI provides new ways to address the challenges of mass-scale automated disassembly of electric vehicle lithium-ion batteries through systems that use anomaly detection and predictive estimation.
The paper summarizes the key AI techniques used in battery development. Supervised machine learning models like SBM and XGBoost are used for predicting the state of health and remaining useful life of batteries. Deep learning models like LSTMs are used for cycle life prediction and simulating complex phenomena like dendrite growth. Reinforcement learning is applied to optimize charging protocols and battery management systems. Generative models like GANs and VAEs are used to create novel electrode and electrolyte structures for high-throughput material screening. Hybrid AI physics models combine machine learning with physical and electrochemical equations for long-term performance prediction. Active learning and Bayesian optimization guide experiment selection to make material synthesis more efficient and reduce the number of trials. And natural language processing is used to build databases and identify trends by mining the vast body of scientific literature.
In its outlook, the paper summarizes that agentic AI and machine learning will be critical for a wide range of materials discovery applications. Having explored flow chemistry, biosensors, and batteries as key examples, the authors expect both challenges and opportunities on the road ahead. They identify 3 key future directions. 1. The full integration of computation, machine learning, and robotics into fully autonomous laboratories that operate 24/7 with minimal human input. The democratization of these self-driving labs and ML-driven manufacturing methods like 3D printing will be a game changer, automating and accelerating discovery in sensor development, composite materials, and beyond. 2. A critical challenge is ensuring the trustworthiness and reliability of these AI agents. Autonomous agents can be prone to hallucination or operational errors and require sophisticated oversight. As agents gain more autonomy and are integrated with physical robotic systems, the potential for compounding errors, the generation of hazardous materials, and alignment failures increases. Therefore, robust AI governance, clear ethical guidelines, and maintaining meaningful human oversight are paramount to mitigating these risks.
Future research will need to continue tackling the problem of generalization across diverse chemical and material spaces. Strategies to address this include developing standardized benchmarks, expanding datasets through methods like federated learning or synthetic data generation with diffusion models, and implementing physics-informed models to ensure the AI's outputs are physically realistic. In conclusion, this review paints a compelling picture of a future where the slow, serendipitous process of materials discovery is replaced by a rapid, intelligent, and automated paradigm, driven by the powerful synergy of agentic AI and machine learning.